Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the Burgers and Fries podcast, your Bob's Burgers companion podcast. With you is Brian and Ryan.
We're back.
Another week, another episode.
We're back.
We're doing it.
We're always back.
We're always back.
We will never leave you.
I hope not. At least not for a long, long time.
We will never leave you until the show gets canceled.
Until my wife gets tired of us hiding out in my office.
Well, she's not even out right now, so we're good.
It's fine. Just finish before she gets back.
Exactly. If you hear this podcast abruptly end, we're just gonna put it out like that.
That's right.
That's how it works.
That's how it goes.
No, we'll just have to move. We'll just have to even go quieter.
Yeah.
Or we'll do it during the workday. Like we'll have to start.
Just sneak over at lunch.
We'll have to get it. We'll have to get an ISDN line and just record through
wow,
that.
that's quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better. It's better than the Skyping and Discording we've been doing.
That's true, yeah. Anyway, thanks to everybody for coming back. Especially after last week's podcast. We really got off the rails on that one. Maybe we'll do a little bit better this week.
It was still short, though. I mean, last week was still shorter than our average episode, just because,
There wasn't much to talk about story-wise. This episode is a lot better, I feel.
Okay.
I like this
You
episode.
think so, huh?
I like this episode a lot better than the one last week.
Well, we'll see how your opinion is after we watch it.
I guess we'll have to once we get down to the numbers. I say that before, and then it turns out not
do.
to be true. So
I've done the same thing where you get to that and you watch the episode, or you know pieces of the episode before you watch it, and then you watch it and you're like, it wasn't as good, or hey, it's better than I remember. I've oversold episodes on this podcast many times.
that's true.
So season 4, episode 13, Mazel-Tina.
Mazel-Tina.
Or, as Brian said last week, Tina Mitzvah.
Tina Mitzvah. I couldn't remember what it was called. So sorry.
That's fine. March 16th, 2014, the air date, directed by Brian Loshivo.
Yes.
That's a new person. It's the first time we've talked about Brian on the show.
Brian.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
It could be.
Name
I could honestly be pronouncing this guy's name wrong, and I am 100% sorry if that is the case.
If so, we're very
But
sorry.
it kind of looks like the only other two names that I know that are kind of spelled like that are Terry Schiavo from that.
From that one awful
from the
thing?
Florida.
Yeah.
The Florida case.
I know what you're talking about.
If anybody doesn't remember, in the mid 2000s, there was basically a big court case that happened about the right to take somebody off life support. And her name was Terry Schiavo, and it was her husband who wanted to kind of take her off life support.
Right.
And her family didn't want to, and this came down to, well, there's no will, who actually has rights over this, and all that kind of stuff. And then the other name is Tony Schiavone from WCW wrestling fame. The announcer for WCW had his name spelled S-C-H-I. Everybody knows who Tony Schiavone is.
No one knows that one.
If you watch WCW wrestling, you know who Tony Schiavone is. He was the voice of WCW forever.
See, the guy, when you say his name, the thing that comes into my mind is that Undertaker's little minion thing. That Undertaker's,
Paul Bearer?
Sure.
That's Tony Schiavone, right here.
Tony Schiavone. Okay.
He's also the voice of, he's the voice of Atlanta football. The college, not the pros. And then he did AAA Atlanta baseball as well for the longest time.
Okay, well.
Anyway, Brian Loshivo, if we're pronouncing your name wrong, please tweet at us, give us phonetic spelling, or we're just going to keep calling to that for the rest of this podcast.
That's his name. That's his name now.
And then it was written by Holly Schlesinger. That one we have covered before.
Yep.
The plot for this episode. Let me pull that up for you. Tina isn't invited to her classmate Tammy's bat mitzvah, but ends up at a party anyway because Bob and the family were hired to cater. Despite the invite snub, Tina is excited to scope out the beefos. And we'll get to what beefos is after, because we're not going to talk about it now.
Not now. We have to save that for the episode.
So, TIL from this episode, not today necessarily, but through this episode I learned, I learned,
okay,
bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs are different, because it is
just found that out
male
now?
and female.
Yeah.
Not just now, from this episode.
Oh, so 5 years ago when it came out?
Yeah, so 3-4 years ago, watching this episode, I was like, why are they calling it a bat mitzvah?
Because you're stupid.
Exactly. It's because I'm dumb. And
I
did not grow up in a Jewish household or around Jewish people.
Well, that's one thing, and that's the other thing. If you work at doing catering or anything like that, you'll run into a couple, and that's where I learned it from. Probably about 20 years ago when I was doing catering and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's where I had learned it. I thought that was just a common thing that everybody knew.
No, I mean,
now in this day and age,
growing up, again, I grew up in a very Christian household. We didn't talk about Jewish people. There was no synagogue in our town or anything. I grew up in a town of 4,000 people. You wanted to go to a Jewish service, you had to go to Janesville or Madison or something.
Sure. Not like you would want to because you weren't raised that way.
Exactly.
So I get it.
So my only experience in that was in media, where it's like, Hey Arnold, where Harold's having a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
And in South Park, when it's Ike's bar mitzvah. Yeah. It's never the female having it.
Sure.
And so I kind of learned that through media.
Yeah, and so a bat mitzvah, it's for the ladies.
The ladies get a bat mitzvah.
They sure do. They're not just for boys.
They're not discriminatory.
Yeah.
Like in the Christian, the becoming an adult in the faith is confirmation.
Right. And that's for everybody. That's one size fits all.
I'd much rather have a bar mitzvah. I think
sounds more. It's more centric to you as a person.
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't have I had a confirmation party, but it wasn't that. It wasn't quite as extravagant as. Oh, and here's the other issue. In Futurama, it's a bot mitzvah, and that's where it's like. So when I heard them say bot mitzvah, I'm thinking in my head,
a robot.
Yeah, I know.
Mitzvah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm thinking, why are they calling it when I saw this episode originally, it's why is this called a bot mitzvah? Isn't that what the robot celebrates? Why isn't it a bar mitzvah? So again, just media giving me some. I grew up in media.
I get what you're saying.
I'm a child of my upbringing, which was TV shows.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so there we go.
So, we'll pause the podcast now. Yeah. And we'll get into the episode, right? We'll watch the episode. We're gonna learn all about
bot mitzvahs.
We're gonna break it all down. We're gonna get into it, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna discuss it.
Yeah.
So, we'll be right back.
Woo-hoo!
Don't know you. Janet, what's wrong with Tammy's eye?
That one's a little bigger than that one.
Not me. Her.
I need someone to fix the bulb on the Tammy head. Stat.
Janet, you gotta get out of here.
I do.
What are you doing here still, Janet? What are your dreams? I know you got dreams.
I'm gonna move to New York.
You should go there, Janet.
And I'm gonna sing and dance.
Give me some of that singing. Give it to me now, Janet.
Starts.
Wake up, Janet. Wake up.
You wake up, Tammy, because guess what? I quit.
What?
Oh, how the tides have turned.
Janet, don't you dare.
Oh, look at me. The headsets are coming off for the ears.
Janet, did you take that
I can't hear you anymore. Look, I respond to nothing, Tammy. Nothing but my own desire to be a star.
Janet.
Oh, voice, you've taught me well.
Janet.
You're welcome, Janet.
And we're back.
Woohoo!
We watched the bat mitzvah episode.
Yes, Mazel-Tina or Tina mitzvah. I kind of like Tina mitzvah. Now that I've said it a few times, I kind of like the way that sounds.
Tina mitzvah.
Tina mitzvah is a good name of the episode.
Yeah,
because it's all the same. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's an episode about Tammy's bat mitzvah, but it quickly becomes Tina's bat mitzvah. They're not a religious family in the slightest, but she does play hostage.
She does
to this situation.
Yeah, it's true. I want to start off right in the beginning. We get to talk about some beefos.
So you want to get straight into what a beefo is?
Yeah, because you mentioned it, and I think it's really funny. It's boys from other schools, BFOS, beefos. Yeah. There's going to be all kinds of beefos there. And Tina wants to check out the beefos, and what makes them so interesting. Oh, you get tired from the butts at my school. I just want to check out some beefos butts.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've never heard that before. I like it.
Well, it may have been made up for the show, or we aren't 13-year-old girls, nor have we ever been, and so we just don't talk like that.
So Urban Dictionary does say it was popularized from Tina Belcher, meaning that it's probably not been around before.
Okay.
So BFO is best friend of the office. So like if we work together, you'd be a BFO, a best friend at the office.
Sure. Okay.
But we also hang out outside of work, so it wouldn't be that. I guess in my case, there's a guy that I work with named David. He'd be like the best friend at the office, and then the person I work with next to Jenny. We're not going to hang out outside of work, but at work, they're the people I would go to.
Sure.
Beefos is, according to Urban Dictionary, is from Bob's Burgers. So congrats, guys. You came up with a term that I will start using from now on.
When are you going to need to do that?
When won't I need to use beefos, my friend? Because it is a term that I have plenty of use for. And by plenty of use, I mean I have no use for.
Maybe when your daughter grows older and she wants to check out some beefos.
She's going to check out beefos. Hey, you know what? That'll actually be a good tell. Because she's 5 right now. She'll be 6 in a month. Exactly a month. And if she's using that when she's like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
Then we'll know that the term has caught on.
Okay. That'll be interesting. It's going to be a generational gap.
Yeah. It'll be pretty good to know if it's still being used or if it has ever been used from now, so 4 years ago, to her now. She would have been 1.5 when that episode came out, so 12 years. I think that's good. I think that's a good tell. Okay. If Beefos is around in 7 years, we will get back on this podcast if it's still not going on, because who knows how many episodes there are going to be.
Oh my God. Could you imagine doing this podcast for 7 years?
It'd be pretty cool. I can't imagine it because we've never done a podcast longer than this one. So everything
That's
after
the thing. This is we're doing this times 7, basically.
Yeah.
Because we reached our year mark a month or two ago, right?
We hit our year mark in technically August.
Oh, August. Okay, so a few months ago.
But we released like 4 at a time, so
right. That's true.
Weird.
That's true. So anyway,
but yeah. So the Beefos. She wants to go visit the Beefos.
It's so funny.
I think what's funny is that they continue to use that because she talks about her Beefos from all these things that she's in. So like she has Beefos from like
her Hindu school, not Hindu
school.
Jeepers, let's cut that out.
She's got Hebrew school Beefos.
That's what it is.
She's got camp Beefos. And then she's got Beefos who are Filipinos for some reason.
Filibifos. I think they just did it.
You think
to make that joke. I think they did it for the joke.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Tammy to have
Filipino friends.
Yeah. I'm sure that her family has gone there previously.
Yeah.
That would be really funny, and I gotta remember because there's been 2 episodes where they talk about things that Tammy has done like over the summer or things like that. I wonder if they mentioned that she'd been to the Philippines.
Doubt it.
And that would be a really cool continuity thing.
Maybe, but I don't think they did.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, Tina again. Beefos. I need fresh faces and fresh butts.
Yeah,
Tina's very hormonal right now. So, I think it's also funny then at the school that we pretty much just go to school right after that, and you hear Tammy screaming on her phone to her mom. It's like, no, so and so had 5 caterers at their bat mitzvah. I need 6. And so then that's how they get invited to the bat mitzvah or bat mitzvah. Bob's Burgers is going to cater at Tammy's bat mitzvah, at Tammy's party.
Yeah, well, that whole setup...
Tina just basically volunteers her entire family to go to Tammy's party and cater.
The whole setup is really funny about that because Gene's talking about how he's like, you got to go, don't be so sad about not going to Tammy's. You got to go to Shauna's bat mitzvah. And then that's when Tina, in very, very typical, very tried and true fashion of sitcoms, she comes walking in with the convenient timing of, Mom, Shauna Glassman had 5 caterers.
Yeah, that means we need to have 6.
Yeah. So fun fact, now that I'm thinking about it, Tammy's last name is Larson.
Yeah.
Not typically associated with the Jewish culture. Larson. That's more Scandinavian. So she's like half Jewish, maybe.
Maybe her mom.
That could be, exactly. Her mom is probably
on the Jewish side.
Yeah. But I mean, so we get to learn that she is Jewish, which is really cool. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we kind of learn some
more about the characters in the show, characters of the city.
Yeah, we learned that Tammy is Jewish. We learned that Gene is not circumcised.
No, he's not.
Which, whatever, that is what it is. We will reserve all opinions on that for a podcast we'll never do.
Nope.
And obviously she's a member of the cheerleading squad, which we knew from the previous episode, where she was
she was in like the zombie.
Yeah.
In Tina's zombie story, and she was a cheerleader in that particular episode. Did that carry over into this episode?
I think.
Or are you remembering it wrong because we watched them back to back?
They were watched because they were doing the video montage of like all the different things. Because the day's all about her, so they had like a picture montage, and she was up there with like palms and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Roger. So we get the Beefos there.
All right.
And so Tina has to convince Bob to do it, and he's like, I don't want to cater because every time we go and cater, you guys leave me all by myself. And she eventually just convinces them that it's good to do. So they do it. The reasoning is because Bob
didn't want to do catering because he always gets left behind. Everybody just bails on him and runs around and does whatever, and he's left manning the booth and not getting to have any fun is also the other thing. So that's the reason why, but Tina talks him into it, and Louise the whole time is like, no, we're not doing this. We are not going. No, he is not good. And then like when they were having the conversation in the cafeteria.
It's really funny how she, contradicting everything that Tina says.
It's like, can your dad do sliders? I want sliders. Like, yeah, he can do sliders. And Louise is like, no, he cannot do sliders. He's the worst at sliders. You don't have any of these sliders. He's not good. He's like, we're not doing this. Yeah. We're not doing this. She's just fighting it the whole time. She does not want to have any part of this.
Well, I've got the exchange right here. I just want to go through it real quick.
Okay.
So Louise goes, no, we can't do that. And she goes, what does he do again? Nothing. He doesn't do anything. And so then Tammy goes, can he do sliders? No, he's terrible at sliders. No, he can't. And then she goes, and she says, he can make them so small you just can't even see them. No, you don't want them. So they're so small, I'm eating one right now.
And she's mumbling that while Tammy and Tina are having their own separate conversation.
Yeah, so I don't want to go through the whole story. We could talk about the story. We'll get to the whole story. What do you want to tackle next? Because you wanted to talk about beefos, and now we went into catering. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, I wanted to talk about how this is kind of like the whole thing where she doesn't get invited, right? But then she's at the bar at the restaurant, and she kind of leans over the chair, and just gets really depressed because she doesn't get to go, and she gets really, really red-faced, right? And then you notice how red she was, and then as the scene went on, like her face faded away a little bit. I just thought that was good attention to detail.
Yeah, but who else was invited? Do you remember? At least from
Jimmy Jr. and Zeke.
Jimmy Jr. and Zeke were invited.
Yeah,
I like that Zeke was like, "We'll be there." Hava, giddy up, and then jumps on the back of Jimmy Jr. and there, giddy up, boy. And so then Tina, in her exchange, she's like, well, if a spot opens up in your invitations, let me know. And Tammy goes, spots for underwear.
Yeah, right.
I thought that was kind of fun. So she weasels her way in to it. And you know that when she says that she's going to cater, that she's not going to stay catering. I think it's pretty funny, though, how she gets so involved into the bat mitzvah. How it just kind of falls on her. Of all the random things and in ways that this could happen. So it takes Louise, and actually Louise does this twice. She's really good to Tina in this episode. So one, she grabs the headset that Bob is forced to wear. So Bob is quotes, and he's being forced to wear this headset so the coordinator can keep them all...
Janet.
Yeah, Janet, who's the
party planner.
Janet. The coordinator. So she wants to keep them all aligned with, what kind of foods you need, when you got to get them out and all this kind of stuff. Bob doesn't want to wear it at all. And so Louise, of course, is going to have some fun with this. And she puts it on, and she starts kind of whispering in the headset, Botzilla.
Yeah.
And kind of egging Janet on, but then also kind of liberating Janet to kind of speak up.
Right. I'm supposed to move to New York. Ooh, talk about that. I wanted to sing. Yeah, sing right now. Just do it. Right? Like, get out of here. Like, you're too good for this. But ultimately, like, not necessarily setting Janet free, but her main agenda of kind of talking to Janet was to get Janet to leave to mess with Tammy. Because she didn't want to be there.
Yeah, but it also helps Tina get further into it. Like, the first time here is kind of an unintentional way to do it, but she's got this headset. She basically allows Janet to free herself from being under the fine-tooth comb of Tammy. She's like, I quit.
Right.
I'm going to move to New York.
Yeah, I'm going to move to New York. I'm going to be a star.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
And just their whole... And again, this is another good back and forth exchange that happens between Tammy and Janet. Because she's like, I can't hear you anymore. Look how I respond to nothing, Tammy.
Right.
Nothing but my own desire to be a star.
Exactly.
And so Janet's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy needs
someone to fill in.
And so Tina's like...
Well, Tina asked her for the restroom.
Yeah,
Tina hasn't gone to the bathroom the entire time. Mm-hmm. If you've noticed, if you follow the rest of the... Okay, so originally she goes, I just need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Bob lets her go. She asked Tammy, where's the bathroom?
Yeah, right? she's pretty good about not using the bathroom.
Tina's parting words were, well, I'm going to go to the bathroom, but at least, I'll get to walk through the party.
Yeah.
Right, was her send-off before she left the food booth to go to the restroom. Runs into Tammy. Mm-hmm. Tammy, where's the bathroom? It's over there. And they, oh wait, Tina, how good are you at holding clipboards?
And she goes, well, I get my fingers stuck in the
really
clippy
good,
things.
but I get my fingers stuck in the clippy thing. So
which is apparently that's the only thing you need to.
And then she puts the clipboard on her, gives her the clipboard, puts the headset on Tina, and now Tina is the new Janet. Tina is running the party, and she doesn't go to the bathroom the entire episode because
but she doesn't even mention it. So it's
just, yeah, right. So she must.
It doesn't bother her. She
must not have had to go that bad. Maybe that was it.
Yeah. So then she's got this schedule that she's got to stick to because she was told to stick to the schedule. So we have to stick to it no matter what.
Right.
Is what Tammy had said to her. So these are Tammy's words, not her making up something. We stick to the schedule no matter what. So they kind of go through the schedule, and there's dances on there. There's events. There's names. There's like a whole family chart apparently because Tammy doesn't know half the family.
Right.
And then there's also a picture of Justin, and he's the cutest guy in Hebrew school. And the ladies' choice dance is going to be later that night.
Right.
So this was something that kind of bothered me about the whole timeline. Just because the ladies' choice dance is at 9:30, it's pretty late.
Maybe Tammy's throwing her a rager.
It very well could be a rager. But it's just, so she's got to follow the schedule and stick to it. So that means at 9:30 it's going to be this ladies' choice dance. It's going to be Tammy and Justin, who's the cutest guy in Hebrew school. They're going to dance and have fun. But does it get to that point? There's a lot of shenanigans that kind of happen because Louise is not having fun and she wants to go have fun.
Right.
So she steals a whole container of guacamole and decides to go into the Tammy head that's supposed to get propelled to the ceiling.
Yeah, it looks like it's made from like fiberglass, but it's better than paper mache, but maybe less than fiberglass.
Yeah, because when she breaks through at the end, it doesn't seem to shatter like fiberglass does.
Right, but it doesn't fall apart as easily as paper mache. So who knows what it's like? Some kind of plaster, maybe.
Could just be regular cardboard.
Maybe
could be very strong cardboard.
But it's really funny because they have this giant head, which is probably the size of somebody's bedroom, hanging up above the ballroom, and then Louise is like, what are you gonna do with this stupid thing anyway? And she's like, duh, I'm gonna donate to charity. I'm not selfish. It's like, what? Like, who is going to need that, Tammy? That was such a good throwaway line. I really like that.
But line. I like how
give it to charity.
So Tammy's in there already. So when she's going in there to put it through the nose, like her idea is to put this guacamole going through the nose,
right? So
it looks like it's dripping boogers. She goes in there, and Tammy's already in there, and she goes, "Oh, I thought this is where the tortilla chips were."
Yeah.
Which is so creative.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this isn't where the tortilla chips are. I'm sorry, I should leave.
Yeah.
It's like, were you gonna put guacamole out my nose like green boogers? It's like, yes.
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Let's do it.
Yeah. So they get stuck in there, and then it starts going up to the ceiling. So now Tammy and Louise are stuck in the head.
They sure are.
And so Tina is looking for Tammy, and Tina goes and finds her parents. And like, hey, where's Tammy? And apparently this is something common for Tammy because they go, well, she's probably just having Tammy time.
Yeah.
So just don't worry about it. She'll come back when she's done, and just kind of stick to schedule.
Okay, bye, Mom.
Hi, Tammy.
Ugh, Tina, I am up to my pits in bat mitzvah planning. But I figured out the theme, which is Tammy! Me. It just makes sense.
Nice. You get an O for original. And for OMG, I didn't get an invite to your bat mitzvah.
That's because I didn't invite you.
Oh, that O doesn't stand for anything, just me being surprised. I was really looking forward to all those beefos.
Me too. Yeah, a lot of beefos. I got Hebrew school beefos. I got camp beefos. I got beefos who are Filipinos.
Fellow beefos.
Got your invite, Tammy. We'll be there.
Bat mitzvah, baby! Havana, giddy up! Giddy up, boy!
Ow!
Get it!
Ow!
Get
Ow! Ow!
Yeah!
Well, if a spot opens up, keep me in mind.
Spots are for underwear, Tina, not my bat mitzvah. Gotta run!
So then Tammy's going through, because originally what was next was the limbo stick.
Yep.
And so Tina kind of becomes a faux Tammy for this portion of the episode. So now it's her kind of celebrating Tammy's bat mitzvah.
Mm-hmm.
So she,
but just filling in for Tammy.
Filling in for Tammy,
right?
Which in good Tina fashion means that she's taking it pretty seriously and a little bit over the top, which is perfectly fine for a 13-year-old girl to do that at somebody else's bat mitzvah.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets the limbo, and she wants the bar as high as she can, so she doesn't have to bend over. And Tammy's furious because she's like, I took limbo classes for this.
I went to limbo camp.
For this. And then next was the conga line, and she's like, she's not congaing perfectly. It's very precise.
It's yeah, and makes fart noises. So it was pretty funny.
And then what was the next? Because there was a whole bunch of stuff. So she had to keep doing these things. She wasn't waiting for Tammy to come around. She was just like, oh no, we're just gonna keep doing it. And then it gets to a point where it's getting to the dance between the ladies' choice dance.
Yeah, the boy and the girl. Yeah, Tammy's choice.
Tammy's choice with Justin, and of course Justin's a boy, and he's an attractive boy that Tammy wants to dance with.
He's the cutest boy in Hebrew school.
Remember that funum, which is face.
The punum.
The punum, the face.
You say funum?
I said punum. I kind of said I had an F in accidentally, but it was
yeah.
It's more blowing air out my mouth.
Oh, you're okay. Great.
Yeah. So then she starts dancing with Justin. Now, while this is going on, Tammy and Louise are in the head at the top there, and they're trying to find ways to get out. And so the first suggestion is let's put the guacamole.
They have to put the guacamole in the nose, so it'll fall on somebody. People will see it, and they'll know we're up here.
Yeah.
And then they pour it through, and it doesn't fall. Like, wait, why isn't it falling? And it goes, because of your big mouth, Tammy.
So Tammy's lips protrude so much over the nose that when it's coming out, it just kind of sits on top of the lip, and now it just looks like a big old green zit wart,
green bug just sitting there on her nose,
on her lip. And Louise is ready to get down because she sees what Tina's doing, and she's like, "We're just gonna get down, and I don't want to be up here with Tammy anymore." So Tammy starts saying some pretty mean things, like, as soon as I get down, I'm gonna, whatever. I forget exactly what she says, but she says something about how, your stupid family and everything.
Right.
And so she looks out and sees what Tina's doing, and Louise is like, you owe me one again, sis. So this is the second time that she helps.
In this episode.
Helps Tina out. She goes, oh, I guess I can't fix this headset.
Yeah.
Though it wasn't broken to begin with, I don't think.
It was just like gobbed up with guacamole.
Yeah. But
right?
she could have
she really had to work hard on it.
Yeah. So she could have fixed it, and I think she did fix it. And then ultimately she doesn't. She's like, whatever, you owe me one, Tina. And so then they're stuck up there some more.
I did like the back and forth later with Louise trying to fix it. Hey, I fixed it. You fixed it. That's great. Because your sister is just, oh no, it's broken.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's broken. She starts crying again. Oh, look, I fixed it. You fixed it. Oh, great. Now we get out of here because it's stupid. I'm sick of you. Oh no, it's broken.
Yeah.
That whole back and forth with Louise. She was again having more fun torturing Tammy than one person could probably have.
Yeah. Because, it ends up being where, because it's like a reverse Wonderful Life, is what Louise says.
Right.
They're looking out here, and they're seeing how much better everybody's life would be if Tammy wasn't there. And so then she kind of starts crying because she's realizing, this is not a life-changing episode for Tammy in the slightest. She's not going to have new thoughts about everything. But right now, she's just upset that nobody's thinking of her.
Right. I can't believe it's been 2 hours. Why has nobody, noticed that I'm gone? Mm-hmm. And it's either Tina, right, really just being regimented and sticking to the schedule, and maybe wanted to take over the party a little bit, and no one's looking for her, right? Or maybe it's just everybody's enjoying Tina because Tina's not bossy, or maybe she's bossy, and that's what they're noticing, that hey, we still have a boss here. It's not Tammy, but it's somebody, so we just better follow along and do what they say.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
But yeah, then so after that, Louise gets Tammy to admit that she was being a botzilla, and she's the worst person alive, and she's a monster, and she's like, oh, I guess I fixed it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a genius. And then Tammy goes back into her old ways. She's like, just get us down already, and that's when the back and forth.
Like,
it's broken again.
No, it's broken again. Oh. Yeah, I like that part a lot. I thought that was really funny.
You better start inviting. And then she goes, again, this is a third time where Louise has Tina's back. She goes, you better start inviting my sister to all your dumb parties.
Right.
And they'll get you down. So it's just one of those things. So I missed one of the things that is on the strict regiment of time. She also does the bread breaking, the actual part that Tammy needs to do in order for the bat mitzvah to actually be solidified in the Jewish family. And she's just mouthing the words, like she doesn't even know what she's saying.
I thought she did a good job.
Well, she did an okay job, but you could tell that she was.
It was fine.
Yeah.
For not knowing what was going on.
Yeah. And then they get down, and Tammy's really upset, but then she calls for the time for the hora. Mm-hmm. And so then they sweep Tammy away. Louise and Tina and everybody kind of gets off a little bit scot-free for the most part, because they start playing Hava Nagila, and they pick her up and carry her around. And Bob and Linda come to the conclusion, like, this is why we don't cater.
It's been almost 2 hours. No one even notices that I'm not there.
Wow, this is like a reverse It's a Wonderful Life. You get to see how much better off everyone is without you shrieking at them.
Yeah.
Okay, easy there. Ugh.
Everyone is having a good time without me. It's true. I was being
A horrible Botzilla.
Yeah.
Like the worst person alive. Just like a crazy monster.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, coming around. Hey, look at this. Tammy, I fixed the headset.
What?
I fixed the headset.
Oh, you're a genius.
I know.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get us out of here.
Oh, it's broken.
No.
Okay, I fixed it. But you watch your tone.
I'm sorry.
And you better start inviting my sister to all your dumb parties.
I can't give you a guarantee.
All right, then it's broken.
No.
All right, pretty much.
So we kind of got through their stories.
Yep.
Let's talk about Gene's story next. He doesn't have a story. Let's kind of get through Gene real quick.
Gene has a tiny story.
So he's there just to be there. Really, he has no purpose.
Yeah.
There, he's helping the family, do the cooking and stuff. But as everybody starts to disperse, Linda goes and is gonna just go find some food real quick. And she's like,
well, she's
stay here.
Linda's all about the crepes. Linda, you've been saying crepe on your breath for the last 10 minutes. No, I haven't. Crepe.
So she goes and gets that, and she doesn't come back. So Bob's like, I'm gonna go find her, and you stay here and man the table.
Yeah.
So Gene is here manning the catering table, having to make fresh burgers.
Not doing a very good job.
Not
dropping them on the floor, and then there's too many people there at the burger place, and so he goes under the table and hides and eats the burgers that he dropped on the floor, and then he makes them all, but then he doesn't cook them. He's like, hey, if you want this burger cooked, you should take it to the bathroom and run it under some warm water. And Zeke goes, yeah, all right.
That's right. And so he says, what did he say at the end? He's like,
who he? Gene?
Yeah, Gene. He goes, it was easy. You make it seem so difficult. Once you stop using the grill, it's fast.
Yeah. He found a big time saver there. So that was pretty much Gene's story. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, he just was there kind of along for the ride. That's fine. He doesn't need to have a story. This was not at all about Gene. This was not called Mazel-Tina.
Right.
This was called Mazel-Tina. Or Gene Mitzvah. Let's talk about Linda and Bob, because they were dead set against catering. And Bob knew what was going to happen. He was a soothsayer at the beginning of the episode. He knew exactly what was going to happen when they got there, and it happened. But we got to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So they're getting set up to cater. We already talked about how Tammy was being a Botzilla and giving him the headset saying, you need to wear this. So he's not wearing the headset. We talked about Linda going to find crepes and kind of not coming back. Bob goes to find Linda. And they're looking at all this food, and they're getting this food. And they meet each other at one of the catering tables, you would think. And they're like, I just wanted to try the dumplings. Look at these dumplings. And you come to realize that they're not at the bat mitzvah anymore. They found their way into a different hall where there's a wedding reception going on.
Hooray!
And so they're not even in the right hall. This was a huge... This was a huge convention center.
They just kept walking and going through this convention center or this ballroom or whatever it was. And they were at an entirely different party, eating entirely different food. They didn't seem to notice or care or mind. And
I don't think they noticed, because I think that Bob was looking...
they were so gung-ho on getting on the food.
Because he goes, where's Gene? And Bob goes, oh, he's over there at the table, so I can't see. They were just so unaware that they had left the hall, because I'm sure that Tammy's bat mitzvah was just so packed that they just probably crept through a door somewhere, or maybe it was open somehow.
Maybe.
And they went and got new food at a new place.
Mm-hmm.
So then at the end of the episode, they come back, and we see Linda no longer holding food in her hand. What is she holding?
She's holding the bouquet. She caught the bouquet from the wedding.
Linda caught the bouquet at a wedding she was not in, and she's not even eligible to catch the bouquet because she's already married. So I thought that was kind of a fun little thing that to show that they were at the wedding. Like they didn't make that up.
That's true.
And so but it's fun because at the end of it, they're like, let's get out of here, let's go back to the wedding. So the family's probably going to go back to the wedding and enjoy the food and crash somebody else's party.
Right. Because
if we've seen anything about Bob's Burgers and the family, the Belcher family, they love to crash things.
Mm-hmm.
They will do whatever it takes to go have some fun at somebody else's expense. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go do it. Especially at a large wedding at a convention center like that, they're not going to notice, 4 people at the end of the night. As long as it's still pretty full, they're not going to notice 4 people, 5 people strumming on in.
It's true.
Everybody's too fashnuka.
I wouldn't have noticed at mine.
Yeah. You're in a
well, it's not even a fashnuka. It's like what's 5? What's 2 more people and in a couple hundred.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Ours was a little smaller. We would have noticed. We did notice when people kind of came up and were like looking like, what's going on up here?
Oh, sure.
It's like we just.
None of your business. You get out of here.
You guys go down.
Yeah.
Here, take a cup. Go on. We have plenty of extra cups. You guys take a cup and go on down.
Exactly.
But yeah, there was a kind of a neat little ditty song in the middle of the episode right before Tammy gets introduced on stage at the bat mitzvah. I'm trying to find the lyrics to it just because it was a really bad.
From the band that was
she's
on
Tammy,
stage.
she's glammy, she's just a little hammy.
Yeah.
If she sang a song right now, she'd probably win a Grammy. You know who I'm talking of. So why don't you all say Mazel Tov, Tammy? Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yes, that was whatever the band was.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the band,
yep.
I want to talk quickly about the thing that Tina says when she's going all Botzilla as well.
Okay.
Or not Tina. Yeah, Tina. Because they're going to take a break before they have the dance. And Tina, again, in her very hardcore regiment of times, like, you can't take a break. We need to do the dance now. And he goes, I need to call my dog sitter to make sure that, I guess to make sure this dog's okay. And
that was pretty funny.
This is for the Macarena. And then she goes, but hey, it's time to lead the Macarena. So hey, Macarena, or hey, you're fired. Yeah. Like, she has the authority to fire this band.
Or at least they think that she thinks she has the authority.
So it's, so she has to tell everybody, Tammy's taking Tammy time, I'm filling in. She just, that's her line. And, if there's one character trait about Tina that we've seen in the show, and we'll continue to see in the show, is that when she is doing something, she does get a little competitive and does get very...
Carried away. Both, she gets a little aggressive, and by a little, I mean a lot. She gets very aggressive when she's doing something that she's involved in that she's trying to do. And it's a trait that you see in Linda, and it's really cool that they have that kind of analogy going in there. Mm-hmm. That you see the parallels between how when Linda's doing something, how aggressive she kind of gets. Like if you think about the speed dating that food trucking,
the food truck thing, they're just she wasn't too involved.
Jennifer Lopez, get out of the way.
That was more maybe because of the caffeine pills she was hawking.
Maybe.
But it's really the speed dating thing for sure. She gets into the speed dating thing. She wants to do it, and then when things aren't going her way, she has to just push forward and make sure it gets back on her terms. Tina, we see that a lot with Tina. We saw that with when they were on the game show.
That's true.
She gets very aggressive on the game show. We see it here. She's getting very aggressive with it. We saw it in Tina Presto Tina.
Right.
She gets aggressive in the magic stuff. It's just when it's something involved that she wants to do or she's trying to, be like the best at it, she gets very aggressive. And there's not many things that she's good at as far as kind of extracurricular academic type things. None of the Belchers are. Let's be honest. But she gets very aggressive, and I think that's kind of neat that she takes after her mom like that, because her mom's the same way.
Truth. That's a good parallel. That's a good. I like that. She gets her competitiveness from her mother, maybe.
Well, she does, because she's not very competitive to begin with, but when it is something that she gets involved in and realizes, oh, this is fun or this is what I want to do, then it's like I'm here. I'm
doing this. Well, and I think for this particular instance, I mean, yeah, that's true. But I think she just got carried away and she wanted to be the bar mitzvah or the bat mitzvah girl, and she wanted to dance with Justin. I think that was the. I think that was even. Well, she even said it after I asked her. I got carried away and I wanted to be, life at the party. I wanted to be Tammy, kind of thing. And she even says it at the end. So that's my, 2 cents into that as well. Not to say that you're wrong, but that's where I think some of that was coming from as well.
I'm wrong, you asshole.
Yeah, well, I mean, that wouldn't be the first time.
It's true.
Because of your big mouth, Tammy. I love that part. I also like Aunt Frida and her arm flab. Did you notice that? That the animated arm flab? Yep. Oh my god. Yeah, Aunt Frida's wearing this big green dress and she comes waddling over to Tammy. Oh, hi Tammy, it's me, Aunt Frida. And her arms are just the old lady arm flab. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's really funny that they animated that.
I like I like at the end, and not necessarily at the end, but when they're if we go back to the wedding and they're looking out over what's going on, Linda says it's like the end of The Shining in here, which I thought was really funny because we Sarah and I watched The Shining this weekend because the weekend before Halloween or whatever weekend around Halloween I've
actually never seen The Shining.
We are kidless. We watch scary movies, Halloween movies. We just kind of try to get a fill of it. This is a rant for another day, but we tried to find some scary movies to watch, and I think environment in which you watch it in really has a huge effect on horror movies. Because we watched some movies that people said were the scariest movies of all time. We were like, the fuck is this? It's not that scary of a movie, and it's not that good of a movie. But we watched The Shining because she had never seen it before, and I wanted to show her a classic Kubrick movie, and she got bored with it because, let's be honest, it's 2.5 hours. The movie could probably be 90 minutes and still be the same. But if you know anything about Stanley Kubrick, he's a perfectionist, and he has this vision, and it has to be played out this way.
Yeah.
And the movie that you see now is actually about 30 minutes shorter than what he wanted the movie to be. So the movie could have been 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And that would have been terrible, in my point of view. But yeah, so at the end of The Shining, they're referencing one of the famous scenes of The Shining is when Jack Torrance, the main character, kind of goes into the bar, and there's just a bunch of people from in this like a
ballroom,
like a lounge room.
Okay.
And they're just kind of all dancing and stuff. And I don't know why she said it's like The Shining, but why not? It's not the first thing from the last couple episodes that have been like out of place in an episode that's not around Halloween.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny that they referenced The Shining just because that's something that if you hadn't seen the movie, if you don't know The Shining at all, it is kind of one of those, what are they talking about? But if you've seen The Shining, which I don't want to give it away, I know it's a 40-year-old movie, but I don't want to give away that part of it. Should I see? Oh, the Simpsons. You should watch it. You should watch The Shining if you can spare 2.5 hours.
All right.
Because you do need to watch it because in a Kubrick movie, even if it is a 2.5-hour movie, you still need to watch because he's very good with directing, very good with cinematography. This is one of the movies that really perfected the Steadicam.
Okay.
So there's a lot of shots using Steadicam, which can get a little. That's why they're so long. But like the very iconic big wheel scene was all shot with the Steadicam, and that's why that happens a bunch of times. And even it's based off a Stephen King book called The Shining. Actually, very loosely, Stephen King was not happy with the movie,
right?
Because it was very different than what his opinions were on it. So, which is fine. It's still a good movie. But
anyway,
this is a different podcast. Yeah, I like that they did the Shining reference, and then they also referenced A Wonderful Life. And props to the Belcher family for showing It's a Wonderful Life, or at least having Louise be aware of it at her young age of 9.
Yeah,
she's aware enough of the movie to know what the premise of the movie is and the whole point of the movie, that she's able to give the reverse version of it to Tammy.
Yeah, which is pretty good. Yeah, I like then that Louise is trying to get a hold of Tina now. She fixed the headset. And she's like, hey, Tina, we're up here. We're up in Tammy's big head. And she's like, and she looks up there. Oh, how'd you get up there? Are those boogers? That's funny. She sees the guacamole. And just in one sentence, how'd you get up there? Are those boogers? That's funny. Was Tina's thought process. So I thought that was really good. That's all Louise wanted. Right? It's just somebody to see it and somebody to think it was funny. Right? So she get her chuckle.
We didn't actually talk about that. That's actually the part where Tina betrays Louise.
That's true.
And Tammy. Because then she's like, oh, nope, I can't do it. We got to do the dance.
Can't do it. We have to do the dance. Yep. That's when she gets power hungry or Justin hungry or whatever it is.
It's Justin hungry at that point.
Yeah.
She just wants to dance with Justin.
I think that's fair.
She wanted beefos. I mean, when you promise beefos, you got to get some beefos.
When your mind's set on beefos, that's all.
I kind of want SpaghettiOs now with like hot dogs, like beefos.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking about when I hear beefos right now is like
SpaghettiOs and hot dogs.
SpaghettiOs and hot dogs, like Angus beef hot dogs.
I could do without those.
No?
Yeah, I could do without those.
Without the hot dogs, without the SpaghettiOs.
Without the hot dogs.
You don't like hot dogs in your SpaghettiOs?
No, or excuse me, without the SpaghettiOs. I don't need SpaghettiOs. I'm not 8, and I don't really think they're that good anyway.
What?
They always have like a weird tomato metallic-y taste.
That's the point. It's in a metallic can, and it's tomato
So
puree.
why would you want to eat that? It's gross.
How about Chef Boyardee? That's just SpaghettiOs.
Same thing.
Chef Boyardee is a little bit thicker. The sauce is actually.
Potato. Yeah.
You got to really.
Although Chef Boyardee ravioli is amazing. I'll say that.
I was always a big fan, and I wish they still sold it more often. The dinosaur-shaped pasta noodles from Chef Boyardee.
Oh.
And it came with meatballs. Like it's.
Yeah.
My God, those are the things that I have I should have them at my desk at work. When I was working at Unity, there was a Piggly Wiggly down the street, and they actually had the weird Chef Boyardees, not off-brand, but just the weird Chef Boyardees that like Target never sold and Metro didn't sell and Pick and Save didn't sell.
Oh.
They had dinosaurs and they had like the other shaped ones, and I had a desk full at work.
Sure.
And I had a bowl that I could just reuse. So I put it in the bowl, put it in the microwave, eat it, rinse it out. I'd be ready for the next day. Or wash it out, not just rinse. That'd get gross after a while.
Yeah.
But no, I had a thing of SpaghettiOs, or not SpaghettiOs, Chef Boyardees. I might go do that again if I ever get a good coupon.
Sure.
Just to prove you wrong. I'm going to...
Go right ahead.
We're going to make a burger, and we're going to put SpaghettiOs in that burger, and you're going to have them somehow. We are going to think of a burger of the day that has SpaghettiOs.
That sounds really gross.
It does sound really gross, but we're going to do it.
I don't know if I want to.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I mean, I'll do it for the podcast if listeners want us to do it.
If we can find a burger.
If people want us to do it,
Hashtag invent a burger.
We'll like live stream it or whatever on some kind of
Ooh, that'd
device.
be messy. We could do it. I think it'd be a pretty messy live stream if it were SpaghettiOs in the burger.
We could do it. Well, we wouldn't like overflow the burger. We would garnish it accordingly.
You don't know how the burger is.
I'm telling you that's how we're doing that right now.
So now you've already set rules on this fake burger.
I'm already set. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Because I'm not stupid. It's not gonna be like a sloppy Joe. Although that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but why couldn't it be a sloppy spaghetti Joe?
Yeah. All right, now we're talking. Now we're getting
sloppy spaghetti Joe. It's mixed up hamburger and SpaghettiOs mixed in together.
Yeah.
Sold. I'm gonna try that. I'm not gonna do it for the podcast, but I'm gonna try that on my spare time.
All right, do that.
We're gonna see how good or bad that turns out.
Okay.
So.
Anyway,
before we get to that burger, I've got a not burger of the day fun bits again.
Okay. 2
in a row. The shop was the Quilty as Charged quilt shop.
Yep.
And the sign was actually quilted as open, which was kind of neat instead of having like a neon sign.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Exterminator, which got a pretty good chuckle out of both of us, was the Stuart a little less.
Yeah.
Friday Exterminator.
That one's really good. I like that a lot.
It's much better than it's much better than last week's.
Yeah.
Termite Mare.
Termite.
It was Termite Mare on Elm Street.
That's what it was.
But yeah, no, I did enjoy the Stuart a little less. And there was no burger, although there was a short time of the episode that they were in the restaurant.
And they did have sliders. So they were making burgers at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in good Linda fashion. Yeah.
There's one joke. Yeah. There's one joke that I do want to mention before we get to the ratings.
Okay.
Is that it's the back and forth between Tammy's parents.
Sure.
When it's like when they smell the cologne and then it's like, oh, your cologne smells nice or whatever, and then the dad says, oh yeah, I wear it too, it's bisexual, and then the wife goes, you mean it's unisexual? And the dad goes, yeah, it's the same thing, and then the wife goes, it is not the same thing.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It is not the same thing.
It sounds like an argument they've had before.
Yeah.
The way that she says that.
Yeah. It is not the same thing. Or and she's giving him crap later for like, they're giving him like a high five or something. And he's like, ow, because like you're in his hand. She's like, be a man. He's like, you be a man. So I think there's a little something left to be desired in their marriage. So, but anyway, that's the line that I thought was funny. It's like it is not the same thing. So, we're gonna pause the podcast again. I think it's a good place. We've gotten really off the rails again this week. Is it just like because it's getting dark out now? We're just getting tired or what?
No, I think that we've had a few episodes where they were pretty cut and dry, and it's kind of good to loosen up every once in a while.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll wrap it up here. We'll pause it. Mm-hmm. We'll come back, and we're going to do some ratings for you people.
Woo-hoo.
Shauna Glassman had 5 caterers at her bat mitzvah, and everyone talked about how great that was, so we need 6 caterers. Find me another caterer, or I'm gonna find another mom!
Excuse me, Tammy? I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. If you need another caterer for your bat mitzvah, my dad can do it. We help him with catering jobs all the time.
No, we can't do that.
Ugh, what does he do again?
Burgers?
No.
Can he do sliders? Because I want slider burgers.
Oh, no, he's terrible at sliders.
He can do sliders. He
No,
can
he-
make them as small
oh,
as you want. He
he
can
has
make
a
them so
real-
small you can't
no.
even see them. I'm eating one right now.
Fine.
yum.
He's hired.
No.
Oh, okay. We'll be there.
Yeah. Just have your parents call my parents. I gotta take this. What is it now, Rabbi Rosenberg? What is it now?
Thanks for joining us. We're back.
Thanks for joining. What
thanks
an intro there. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for staying on and hanging out with us.
Thanks for waiting that 30 seconds to 1 minute
Yeah, that's right.
while we gave you a break from our voices.
So, we're gonna do the numbers,
We are.
and we'll let
ready?
everybody know what the numbers are.
you
Yeah,
ready?
I get 2 minutes. Ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
All right. Episode Fun Bits. We had the 2 signs and the end credit sequence, which was just kind of Tina singing Hava Nagila with the chair and stuff. I gave it an 8. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
It like I said, Stuart a little less. Again, there's no burger.
The Stuart Little less is what did it for me. I think the 8 was really. I think I gave it an 8 as well. I think that's why. It's because Stuart Little less.
If there was a
we're
burger,
killing all the mice.
If there was a burger and it was actually a decent burger, this could have been a 9 because Stuart a little less was just one of the best ones
very
we've had.
good.
It's the best one we've
Yeah.
had this season, I believe, so far.
Yeah, could have been.
Story, I gave an 8. We talked about it kind of while we drew the numbers. It is a better story than previous week, and although the previous week was kind of not even a real story, so insofar as it was 3 small stories, it was still a good story. It was good to see kind of some building of Tina's character and kind of reaffirming her as a person in this episode.
Yeah. Story I gave an 8 as well.
Yeah.
I think I did. Yeah, look at that. So I gave a story an 8 as well. I thought it was really fun. I liked watching the Belters interact. I like when we have Tammy. I think Jenny Slate does an amazing job voicing her. So yeah, an 8.
Yep. Humor, I gave it 8 as well. I did laugh a lot. I didn't laugh quite as much as you did.
No, you did not.
We still did laugh. I gave it an 8. The humor was there for me. It's better than the last episode.
The humor was there for me.
It was there for me, but it was more there for you.
In good times and bad times.
It was more there for you, good sir.
Yeah, I gave the humor a 9. I laughed at a lot of the jokes. I really got into this episode. As Ryan just stated, I did laugh a lot. I love the back and forth between the parents. You know, no, it is not the same thing. So, what do we do? The other.
The other,
right?
I gave an 8, and I was railing at you because you were going to give it an 8, but we talked about attention to detail. We got to also talk
about
the
arm flab. The arm flab was so funny.
We got to talk about the character building. We got to talk about Tammy Tammy being Jewish, G not being circumcised. There was a lot that kind of was built in this episode.
A lot that was
and the music too.
unpacked.
I talked about before.
Yeah. So I gave it
a 7. Even though I railed at you for it.
You did, and then you gave it an 8. Oh, no, it's 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, I wanted you to be able to justify your 8, and you couldn't. And I didn't want to give you reasons to justify an 8. So that's why I gave the 7.
Okay.
But yeah, so 8 for me, 8.2 for you. It's an 8.1 for this episode. That puts it pretty high in this in this season so far. That would put it at number 4 for the season. So right after, so number 3 is Turkey in a Can, and then number 5 now is Purple Rain Union. So, so that's good stuff.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for us for this week. You can check us out on our Patreon. You can check us out at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
I mean,
we are there.
You could find us on SoundCloud, but you're not going to find any of our episodes. It's going to be... You could look at Sweet 12. I think we still got a couple. We probably like 1 or 2 on Sweet 12 still.
You think so? That's
well,
funny.
they keep... The free account gives you like 1 or 2 episodes. So
so it's just something that's up there.
That's why when other podcasts, if they miss payment or something, you still see like 1 or 2 available.
Got
They
it.
give you like a small amount. We've had that before too. So
got it.
It is
So,
what it is.
and you can find us on Twitter, Instagram. You can email us burgersfriespod@gmail.com. So, That's gonna do it for us, I think. Thanks again to everybody for listening. We do love interacting with our listeners. It's really been a lot of fun. Just commenting back and forth about fun parts of the episodes and who's our favorite tertiary character and things like that. So love doing that. Love being involved and just knowing that there is somebody on the other end of here listening to us rather than just us talking into an empty microphone.
I have no problem just talking to an empty microphone.
We all know what you think. So thanks again to everybody for listening. We are Burgers and Fries. I'm Brian.
I'm Ryan. Don't you tell me no lies.